You said Sunday that you thought things started to click in the third quarter and that they were playing faster, more aggressive. Do you think that carried into today's game where they established things?
You know, it's funny. I thought it happened again in the third quarter. We started playing faster. So, these summer league games are a little, they're a little hectic. We had, I think a 2-minute warm-up before we started playing. So I didn't have high expectations for, our flow and our rhythm to be there. So I gave them a little bit of grace and patience there. I thought from an execution standpoint, we were okay. Turned the ball over a little bit more, but it's the little ticky-tack turnovers, just the travels and the illegal screens, which typically happens in the summer league. But I think overall, we're continuing to see kind of a general pace increase in the way that they're playing. So we're happy about that. And then defensively, I thought we were really good, which helps us create that pace.
Dyson Daniels is great defensively. He had some huge plays, blocks.
Mm-hmm.
How is he showing even more on that side of his game?
I think the one thing about Dyson that, when he's handling the basketball, being kind of a decision maker offensively, people forget that he's 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan, and he's got elite athleticism, and he utilizes that so extremely well on the defensive end. In a multitude of different ways, either at the rim when he's up blocking shots, or he's rotating, taking the ball, from bad passing or whatever it is. So he's been great defensively, and I don't think that that's something that we are surprised by. It's the offensive stuff that we're continuing to work on with him, and he was good again tonight, did some really nice things, and we're going to just keep building him.
Jones looks like he had one of his best games, obviously. What did you like about it?
I think Tavion in college had the ball in his hands a lot. He was kind of a primary scoring threat for his college team. So being off the ball is a little bit of kind of an unknown area for him. Not necessarily unknown, he's just not practiced in it. So, some of the shot selection, some of that type of stuff, something we talked about with him. And he kind of broke through tonight in just the way that he ran the floor with really good pace, took the right shots. Now we just got to continue to help him make quick decisions and, build from there. He was good tonight.
Yeah, Matkovic looked like he broke through today as well. How was he able to settle in?
Well, I think, he had 2 games that were rough for him, a lot of fouling, that kind of stuff. And, we sat him down, and, I think one of the things that he needs to understand, and he did tonight, is that screening is probably one of the most important things that a big man does in the NBA. If you can't do that, you can't play in the NBA. And I thought tonight he did a much better job, both screening and rolling, then getting into, the areas of the floor we want him when he's not involved in the action. Offensive rebounding, I thought he did a decent job of kind of getting in the mix. And then defensively, he was very good. And just specifically in our pick and roll coverages, I thought he did a nice job. So he came up to me after the game. He said, I had a much clearer mind tonight. I think I'm going to be able to continue to play well throughout the rest of the Summer League. And I agree with that. So we'll see how he comes out against Charlotte.
Yeah, he looked really comfortable. EJ Liddell didn't play tonight as part of the plan in his rehab. How's he feeling?
Yeah, so the plan really was to play him off 5. And after the first 2 games, there was a little bit of soreness. Those muscles are still continuing to get back to what they were. And as a precaution, we just decided to not play him and allow him to really kind of play the next 2 games with fresher legs. And really, that's kind of it. Yeah.
My only question is, we saw 2 applications of the new rules there, the technical foul and the flopping. Yeah. And then also you got the challenge and keep that challenge. Yeah. Successful.
I mean, it is, when I coached in the G League, when they introduced the challenge rule, that was the original rule, that if you won your challenge, you kept it for at least 1 more. And I think that's right. I think it's a good rule. I think that hopefully that they'll implement that in the NBA. I think they are. So that's great. It gives you a little confidence for the next one, I guess. And then the flopping rule, I think, is important. I think it's important. I think with the pace of play and how fast the NBA is becoming, it's a lot easier to flop because, it's hard to keep up with. And if they can sniff those things out and try to mitigate that as much as possible, I think it just helps the game.
So it wasn't a flop, though? No, right?
No, not on us. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely not. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.